Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lindsay's Little Library. Somehow we have approached the end of February. I'm not sure how or where the time went, even though there are days that February felt like it lasted 174 days, but we're here. So I had a really good reading month in February. I read 6 books, and I'm halfway through a 7th, so that's like decent. I'm happy when I have a 6-book month. I'm happy when I have a 4-book month, so I will take these for sure. So let's get into what I read. First one that I read and finished is There by Tommy Orange. This was a book that I was reading for one of my book clubs that I go to. I think I gave this 3 stars. This follows a number of Native Americans who are all kind of making plans and coming together for a huge powwow that's happening in Oakland, California. And I guess I was expecting maybe a little bit more. Some of the characters, I really enjoyed their stories. I enjoyed their backstories. I appreciated how they kind of shared, I guess, some of the history involved with how Native Americans were treated and how that kind of affected how they grew up and where they were today. Other characters, I don't know. There's parts of them that I really liked and certain storylines that I really liked. And then I had a hard time bringing everybody together. But yes, 3 stars if you are interested in something like that is told by various perspectives, that is kind of showing how historical events have kind of shaped a specific culture. I do suggest this. It's good. It just wasn't quite for me. And 3 stars is fine. For me, a 3 stars, it's a fine book. It's fine. I also at the same time was reading Killers of the Flower Moon. This book follows the Osage Indian tribe and the murder, and there's murders involved in the birth of the FBI. This book is by David Gran. Maybe I need my eyes checked. David Gran. I read this at the same time as I read There, and I think it helped me like There a little bit more because they were referencing, There referenced some of the stuff that happened in Killers of the Flower Moon. So it actually follows the Osage Indian tribe, and the government forced them to move a number of times, and they finally settled on a piece of land, and underneath that land was some of the biggest oil reserves that was ever found. And so this tribe of Indians became very, very wealthy. And then very mysteriously kind of started dying off under very unusual circumstances. And so this kind of goes through what exactly happened, how the investigation came, and then the birth of the FBI as well. I could have used more of the backstory, more of the story of the birth of the FBI. It's part of it, but to be in the title the way that it is and not fleshed out as much as I would have liked it to be was a little disappointing, but I gave this 3 stars as well. It is a nonfiction that reads like a fiction, so if you're looking for something like that, I do suggest this book. I've also heard it's really good on audio. It's very interesting, and I hate to even say I can't believe this happened, because I can believe this happened, but yet I can't believe this happened. And this took place in like the 1950s. This wasn't like late 1800s. This is when, like, how did this go unnoticed for so long? So very good, very good. The next book I picked up on my tablet was Along the Broken Bay by Flora Solomon. I gave this 5 stars. This was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. It's a World War II historical fiction, but it takes place in the Philippines. So it follows an American family who is, they're stationed there because there's an army base there. And then when things happen and Japan takes over these islands, where that leaves them and what they have to do. Fantastic book. I loved it. Next book I finished was The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. Oh my God. So I picked this book up and I was staying by myself in a hotel. I was gone for work. And holy buckets, like, I don't know, that I know added to the atmosphere this book provides, but oh man, this book, 5 stars. creepy, creepy, creepy. It's about an old motel, and there's some girls that have gone missing that kind of all have a connection with this city and with this motel. And oh my, just go read it. I don't want to give too much away because it's thriller and yeah, but go read the Sundown Motel. It's even better than Broken Girls. Easily better than Broken Girls. Oh my God. And I think it comes, oh, this says it doesn't even come out until March 18th. So as soon as it comes out, get it. Or if you are on Book of the Month, you can get it through Book of the Month. Or if you're interested in signing up for Book of the Month, I can leave a link below to my little referral page or whatever. Sign up for Book of the Month. I think your first book is only like $5 and you can get Sundown Motel right now. You should just do that because it's amazing. Oh my God, it's so good, you guys. And then I decided to join on the bandwagon with Kayla from Books and Lala and read her. She started a book club called the Literally Dead Book Club, which is freaking fantastic because we're reading all thrillers. And the first book is The Other People by C.J. Tudor. He also wrote The Chalk Man, which I thought was fine. I enjoyed the story. Could have been a little more something. So I was a little skeptical to pick this up, and I'm so glad I did. Oh, girl, this is like, oh my God. It's hard to even describe. So how do I do this? We follow a few characters. One of them is Gabe, and it really starts out with Gabe's story is he's coming home one night in the car ahead of him. He notices it kind of stands out to him, and then a little girl pops up out of the back seat, and it's his daughter, and she yells daddy, and the car takes off, and he kind of tries to chase it, and he doesn't quite get to it, and then gets home, or he calls home, and the police officer answers, and he's like, you need to get home. So he does, and his wife and daughter are murdered, but he's like, I just saw my daughter in the back of a car. Oh, and it goes from there. And as long as you're okay with having a number of questions without getting answers right away, you would like this. If you get bugged by the fact that there's too many unknown things happening without resolving answers before more questions come up, maybe not for you. But oh my God, the questions I had and the like, where does this fit in and how does this go with it? And it's just a beautifully crafted psychological thriller that is like a 2,000 piece puzzle that eventually all comes together at the end. So, oh, so good. So good. Pick that up. 5 stars. Easily. And then my audiobook for this month, I finally got to listen to Becoming by Michelle Obama. She reads the audiobook. She's fantastic. If you've been on my channel a while, you know that I am always interested in political stories. I have read a few different political books in the past that I've really, really enjoyed. But this was, I think, probably my favorite so far. I gave this 5 stars. So no matter what you think about or what your political preference is or whatever, I just find life in the White House very interesting and how they led up to that and how they got into that position. So she does a great job telling her story of growing up, how her and Barack met, and then how they kind of got on this journey to the White House, and then what happened in the White House while they were there and then leaving it. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. And if you can listen to the audio, listen to the audio because it was glorious. It's like, I feel like Michelle and I are like best friends now. I mean, we're not, but it was really great. That's just how it came. It came as if this very easy like conversation about her life. So fabulous book. So that's everything I read in February, which I had a really good reading month. I had 4 5-star books, and I'm approaching a 5th one. So I am currently reading Miracle Creek by Angie Kim. This is for my next book club book. And oh Lord, I am about halfway through. I need to get to these spots to finish it this weekend because it needs to happen. It takes place in a courtroom over an incident of a fire in a barn that ended up killing 2 people. So you're kind of reading through some character's testimony, and each chapter is a different character. So you're kind of learning what happened through the testimony and through some recollection, but yet you're figuring out that there's still some questions that all of a sudden you're like, okay, yeah, this sounds like a totally wrapped up case, right? And totally know that this person's guilty. And then there's one little piece of nugget of information at the end of the chapter that makes you go, what? What? Like, how, what? So it's great. I'm literally going to sit down and I want to finish this weekend. It's like my little kitty little book takes. But anyways, so far I highly recommend this book. And I'm like crushing my Book of the Month Club books lately. So this is one. Sundown Motel was a Book of the Month book. The Great Pretender was a Book of the Month book. Fountains of Silence was a Book of the Month book. Like, I'm crushing my Book of the Month Club books this year. So, but in all seriousness, Book of the Month is fantastic. I have yet to have a book I didn't like from there. I've enjoyed every single one of them. So if you're interested, link below or comment, send me an email, whatever, if you want to talk about it more. Highly suggest it. But I think that's it. So comment below, let me know what books you've read this month that you've really enjoyed, or if there's any that I've read that you want to talk about. You know me, I love to talk books. So comment, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you next time.